Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. How y'all doing? Jesus loves you. So I just saw this movie called Hunting Matthew Nicholas, or Nichols rather. So I thought it was a documentary about this sister who is finding her brother who disappeared about 22 years ago in British Columbia in Canada. Beautiful place. They got really great footage of it. Nice city, bridge. You got the country on the one side, bridge, and then you got a nice city. It looks like almost like Brooklyn, but I guess it's up in Canada. Want to go there. So you go into this movie thinking it's real, and about 10 minutes in, I'm thinking, is this real or not? Because I literally thought it was a documentary. And then I start to realize, wait, is this a mockumentary, right? It's a fake documentary. It's a fictional film that they made look like a documentary. Then it kind of goes to the left and starts talking about witchcraft, summoning demons, Satanism, satanic cults. And they even show a Ouija board ceremony. So I started catching on that the thing might not be real about 10 minutes in when one of the main actresses, or the main actress, she wasn't acting really well. It seemed to me that she was acting like she wasn't acting, right? And then I even wanted to Google it. Is this real or not? But I just kept watching it. And then I realized that some of the cuts, some of the editing, that's not what you would do in a real documentary. And then they mentioned the Blair Witch Project in the movie. And then about 5-10 minutes in, or maybe a few minutes after that, I realized, okay, this is definitely fake, but they're making it look like it's real. And the fact that they mentioned the Blair Witch Project is giving it away. So I don't know if you guys remember the Blair Witch Project when it came out, right? But that was a big deal because everybody thought it was real, right? So I remember seeing that with my mom when I was like, shoot, I don't know, 12 or 13, I don't even, somewhere around there. And we went in thinking it was real. And it was like the freakiest thing because you literally thought it was what they call a found footage documentary about this film crew that goes out into the woods and meets this witch. And, you know, there's this myth about her and they have an experience with her. And so this movie was basically the same exact thing. And the kids in the story were obsessed with Blair Witch, and they were basically making their own with their own town's myth about this one guy who started a religious cult up in the Black Forest, with the Black Bear Forest. He had like a little commune, and he had a bunch of people. And next thing you know, he comes down to the town, and he's all bloody. His mouth is all bloody, and all the, you know, everybody's gone. So the idea is they summon his spirit, and he possesses people, and that's what happened in the story. So they find the video footage of the one guy doing the Ouija board ceremony, getting possessed, and then bashing the other guy's head in, killing him. So it's crazy. Speaking of life imitating art, or art imitating life, I just saw like 2 movies about this same exact topic, using a Ouija board and it actually working and it happening, right? People connecting to spirits and then a spirit possessing somebody to make them do something crazy, right? 2 movies. One is on Netflix. It's actually a show. It's called Playing Gracie. It's pretty good. And then also this movie from back in the 60s, I think. It's called Allison's Birthday. Super cool. And it literally opens up, opening scene. These girls are playing with a Ouija board, and next thing you know, boom, this girl gets possessed and she dies. And that's the same thing in Playing Gracie. I've seen these movies within the span of a week, and that wasn't my plan, right? And God keeps bringing me to these things. He's revealing information. Some people think that's crazy. I don't really care. I understand that God's whatever. Like, this is life. We learn things. There's all kinds of information we can get from movies and from culture, from history, right? So that's pretty interesting. Now, another thing, in the story, she reaches out to her brother, right, who dies, and she's doing this little seance thing, and she has 2 candles, and she has this necklace, and she says, like, move the necklace if you're here, right? So she's calling out to his name, like, Joey or whatever. If you're here, you know, move the necklace, right? And it immediately reminded me of the Bible. Do not practice necromancy. What does that mean? It's contacting spirits of the dead. Don't communicate with the spirits of the dead. And I'm watching this girl do this, and I know people who've done this thing, right? And they even go to psychics who speak to their dead relatives. And I understand it's a human thing that people want to speak to their relatives that have passed. But the Bible's very clear, don't do this. And you know, it's crazy. I was thinking, like, even just from a common sense position, right? Now you have these different intelligences, and you have that spiritual intelligence, understanding spiritual things. Now, contacting spirits is not spiritual, but it's spiritism.
Spiritism is that kind of practice, right? Contacting these beings and stuff like that. So the New Age world, they think they're so spiritual, but a lot of them are just involved in spiritism, which is like witchcraft, New Age kind of practices, right? So we have that spiritual understanding and intelligence. But even common sense, you're calling out to a spirit. You think it's your relative. You want it to be your relative. And because of that emotionalism and that desire, you're doing this silly practice. Not silly, but dangerous practice. And you're assuming that it's your relative. So you're sitting there going, Joey, is it you? Joey, are you here? If you're here, move this necklace, move this flame, make the Ouija board thing move. Guess what? There's spirits all around us, and they will take that opportunity to jump in and do it and just say, that's me. Why would you assume that the thing that you're reaching out to is your relative, right? Do you think these things can lie? The spirits can lie? Because she asked, is it really you? Yes. Well, yeah, of course it's going to say yes, right? She's doing this. Oh, something's there. Yeah, something's there, but it ain't Joey. Right? So the Bible tells us not to do these things.